Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Masino, and I'm a professor at Trinity College, and I'm a joint appointment in neuroscience and psychology. And I'd like to talk with you today about a few opportunities for careers in neuroscience and psychology and associated fields, and just kind of help you to think about the range of different life experiences that you could prepare yourself for or think about in the future. So I'm opening this little slideshow with a figure that talks about training the brains that explore the brain. So there's a real recognition among neuroscientists that we need to train people to enter into diverse careers that are associated with brain diseases, brain health, learning, public health, all kinds of different opportunities. And what you can see here on the right is I just listed what are really the levels of analysis that you can engage in if you're considering a career in neuroscience. So I started out looking at very, very tiny molecules and cells, and now I'm often looking at behavior. So there's a wide range of levels of interactions and mechanisms and properties that you can consider in the nervous system. So just to talk a little bit more about the psychology side, this slide shows 5 pillars of psychology: biological, cognitive, developmental, social and personality, and mental and physical health. So this just kind of gives you a more broad overview of kind of psychology, and there's the levels that I talked to you about in the last slide are relevant to all of these topics here today. So I would really encourage you to think about how brain and behavior applies to so many different fields and can open up many, many different opportunities for your main career or for your life in general, learning about yourself and taking care of your family and your community. So this next slide is a Venn diagram, which shows the intersection of biology and psychology and a little bit more about all of the topics that were expressed in the first slide and the second slide, and how they're all kind of a constellation of different topics that you may want to think about. What's your interest in each of these different topics, and why would you be interested in it, and what's going on in that topic today. And I do want to say that I've had many students who have majored in either neuroscience or psychology, and often what they'll say is that even if their career wasn't 100% lined up with exact research topics in neuroscience or psychology, having that background was something that a prospective employer really appreciated. In terms of careers, I wanted to provide you this link for careers in neuroscience. And what I think is helpful about this link is it gives you this list of different possible careers, and you can click on them, and there are labor statistics, and you can actually see what's the average salary, what's some pros and cons about the job. And I believe it's this site that also says, what are the chances that your job will be overtaken by a robot? So I don't know what the chances are of any or all jobs being taken over by robots. I think there's a lot of need for real people and people interacting in communities and with each other. But I thought that was an interesting twist. So I'd encourage you to explore this site. And the good thing about this list is many of these careers don't require a graduate degree. Some do, but many don't. So some of these jobs might be something that you could do right after college to see how you like it, maybe as a gap experience before a further health graduate professional certificate or before going into graduate school in general, or maybe you might want to get a master's in public health or science communication or social work, or many, many different things. But a lot of these could be really well paid and great learning experiences for a gap year or as a career. In my final slide, I'd like to share a hand-drawn diagram that I pulled off of the site for University of Washington, which I really liked, which talks about kind of some pathways after graduate school. And some of these don't have to be after graduate school, but this is a graduate student trying to think about what are my options, what are my future options, and kind of broke it down into interesting categories. So of course here, starting on the upper left, the kind of standard categories of academia or industry, but there are also a lot of opportunities in nonprofits. And within nonprofits, there are a number of different ways that you can contribute to that mission, whether it's writing grants or working on advocacy or communications or public health research or public education. There are a lot of opportunities in policy. We need more scientists and people particularly with scientific knowledge and expertise about the brain and behavior to be participating in making policies, because brain health, mental health, public health, those should be primary considerations in any kind of public policy work. Related to that is work in communications. So many companies need communications people, nonprofits need communications people, government needs communications people. So this is a very kind of broad field that good writing skills, good communication skills, and a solid background in the overall brain and behavior area is very beneficial. There are also consulting opportunities. So that's a wide zoo of opportunities that I won't go into more detail. And opportunities with intellectual property. So if you're working with medical devices or maybe new drugs, there's a lot of opportunity that could cross over into legal work as well with tech transfer and patent law, but you need someone who understands the science to participate in intellectual property in those areas. So these are just some kind of really solid career options. And I just want to let you know that this is just a real kind of snapshot. There may be other careers coming down the pike that we haven't even imagined yet, where a real understanding of the brain and behavior could be incredibly beneficial. So I thank you for your attention, and I invite you to look at these resources in more detail. And please ask any of the faculty or me if you have any further questions. And please take advantage of the Career Counseling Center, the internship office, our alum network, because all of these structures are set up to help you get connected and help you explore some of these opportunities while you're here at Trinity College. Thank you.